All right, so this is going to be part one of today's outdoor progress video. First, I just kind of figured I would give a little update on the May apples. Most of the fruit that were here are gone. There's crawling on me. There's a few over here yet, not quite ripe, and a couple. There's one or two odd here and there, but of like 30 to 50 that I'd seen, they're mostly gone. You can see they're kind of yellowed and knocked over. Almost sounded like a big cat. Might have been a burger squirrel, you know. Oftentimes they sound louder than, or bigger than they actually are, but that particular call, kind of interesting. All right, so there are a few berries here. I think I need to go through and clear out the non-berry plants, make it easier for them to grow. But there are wine berries and raspberries. That one was sweet. All right, the mulberries are coming along, but not a whole lot. There's a couple dark ones and a bunch of red ones and light ones. They're very small. They're not sweet yet. Pop over here real quick, take a look at the lilies. Haven't done anything down here. I've been around the tree line by the road. Here you can see we got a bunch more blooms coming in. One's going out. The sun is absolutely insane. It's not like super hot out either. As you can see, we got more coming in. We got them blooming like crazy. We got a big old bumblebee going nuts. Grapevines are coming along. I have honestly no idea what the harvest is going to look like this year. It's so early. I haven't really spotted a lot in these trees here yet. But it's very early. Lots of birds, lots of bugs. Heard some frogs going nuts earlier. Turkey buzzer's been flying low. So the lighting back to normal here. Chopped out a very large limb off of the cedar here and trimmed out some of the stuff. I needed to get the extension for the pole saw, but I don't think that's on today's docket. I cut all of them down. Let me show you the progress I didn't record the other day either. Went through with the string trimmer, then with the brush blade, then with the mower. Still got stuff to do on the side, but taking a break, moving over. Moved a ton of stuff in and up into the yard. This is all the elm. Today's start was getting this stuff here. Some tall things that I didn't get at, but you can see I got it all the way to the end. And I've been working inside the yard, cutting grass and organizing the brush behind there. Got more to do, but it's kind of an overall for the weekend plan. Gorgeous. So mowed a strip down there, come back up through here, it's making progress. There's a lot of brush I got to get out of there too, but I wanted to try and get, find out where the grass was and where the brush was. Most of this stuff here was honeysuckle that I was able to get through without. They don't have a lot of stumps, and the stumps here that I've drilled, I'm also going to eventually chainsaw them off at the ground level so I can just mow over. Been at it since about, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock. Right now it's about 5:30. It's about a half-hour break. Cool off in the air conditioning, drink beer. Oh, here's a bunny and a cardinal. Hi, Bun Bun. Hello, Bun Bun. So this pile here is new. Pulled a bunch of stuff up from down under here. These branches here I cut down today off of all of these. This is mostly mulberry, it looks like. There was a big honeysuckle right here that I've now chopped down. I've cut down a ton of, this is just an absolute mess. Everything that's got leaves on it stays. But if it's a branch doing like this, I'll cut them off at the end. So some of these are just, I don't know, I think that's alive up top. So I got to figure out what parts are what. It ain't going to last long, but you never know. There's no bark. It's making leaves. And some of them are ones over next to that are just growing up through. And if that's actually the case, then it's like I can get rid of a whole tree. But so these are fairly rotten here. And I just did some cutting and moving, tossed some stuff around. So I kind of shuffling the shit that was down here up this way, and then piling more stuff from the ditch into here. Bit by bit, we're working up. And the plan at this point is definitely going to be, a lot of these places here are going to be covered in landscape fabric. And then I'm going to use all of this stuff that I've cut up through a wood chipper. And all of these cedar and spruce trees, or juniper, or whatever they are here, any of the lower branches that are producing like ground touching limbs, those are all going to get cut and they're all going to get ground into. So there's going to be like cedar chips, there's going to be honeysuckle chips, there's going to be some mulberry chips. But so yeah, so basically what I'm going to have to do is all this stuff's going to be cut, all of this stuff's going to be moved back in away so that I have room to put down the fabric. And so basically once I get everything clear cut and completely down and get the stumps under control, I'll start running the fabric. And so I'm going to probably fabric this inner corridor as well. And once I cut the low branches, I'll probably fabric one width out from there as well. So there's going to be like 4 widths of landscape fabric in this vicinity here. And so then I'm going to kind of do the same thing up around here just so that nothing grows back underneath of it. And I got so much stuff, brush in the woods. You can see how the cedars are here, and all the cedar grove in there I've got on the paths and everything, places where I can cut a lot of branches out, and that's going to provide a ton of mulch as well. So I've got the material for sure. And then worst come to worst, I start cannibalizing into these white walnuts because they're just kind of there to look cool. There's no real purpose to them being there, and some of them are actually too close to the power lines and would need to come out anyway. So yeah, that's kind of where it is here. And I just kind of been, go for an hour on a task, and then I'll just kind of stop and switch to a different task. So I got this pretty well cleared out. This was dark over here. There was so much stuff. And now it's all opened up and cleared. And I got some more honeysuckles in here yet. And some of these, all this little stuff here is going to go. This is going to be clear cut down. But I got to get some of these branches under control as well. And kind of it's a back and forth. Oh, right. And like the break I just took, I had to go inside. I wasn't heat exhausted, but since I had issues with edema in my feet last year, that what I needed to do is, if I start feeling the warmth in my feet, I go inside, take the boots off. I have to keep the boots on and laced up and tight for ankle support because my ankles have been hurt so many times it's hard to walk. And I like this one's been bad. The last couple of days I've been I step on something wrong, or there's a little bit of stump in the ground and I hit it and it rotates funny. But as you can see here, I've been kind of just cutting in, and then it's kind of reached a point where I was like, I'm done. I'm going to walk up and set the mower down and take my break, because it's been, not more than a sit down for 3 minutes, smoke a little off the pipe, and it's a tobacco pipe, and drink some Gatorade, get back to it kind of thing. But I got stuff to do in here. This is by the end of the weekend, this will be the entire tree line and ditch will be completely clear for sure. Some of these times I have to take an every other day approach. If I go super hard like I did 2 days ago on that other side ditch, I really went nuts, and I felt it and paid for it the next day. So that's kind of the issue. I have to be very wary of aggravating my whiplash when it comes to hauling and throwing and lawnmower janking on my arm and stuff. So I'm just kind of taking my time with it, extremely meticulous. But it's looking good as I go. And yeah, we'll have a nice clear ditch all the way out here. I'm gonna get some cleared out so that there's, you know, opening underneath of the tree here and everything. This is all kind of, technically they say to the center of the road is my property, but the county manages the ditch. But really where the county manages the ditch only comes to, I think, about here. Because then all the rest of this, I believe, is my property. Could be wrong. But anyways, yeah, so we got a bunch of stuff like this that's needs trimmed back, possibly even just cut out. I think this is an ash. It's probably going to die anyway from the ash borer. Got some of these big honeysuckles yet to come out. Oh, see, there's one stepping back and you land on it. And if you don't do it right, you're going to hurt your ankle. So anyways, yeah, I got a start. Kind of chopped in back here and then headed back up toward the front. There's so much brush back here. And like I said, it's all going to get turned into landscaping for that part of it. And this stuff back here, I don't even know. I got to try and control these without using nasty, obnoxious plant killer. I don't like the Roundup. Oh, take a look here before I stop recording. The next section of recording will be after I'm done at the end of the day. This is wild here. I don't know why this is like this. There's just like excess cable from some kind of fiber cable work when they put that in. And I cleared this thing out. This hadn't been touched for years. But for whatever reason, there's freaking serious coax here. I don't even know how much. There's an end of it, so it's not connected. Anyways, what I was going back to look at was this. Really big. I think it's probably the honey locust like the other one. I don't know. Some of these had black spines on them. This might be black locust. So we got both black and honey locust. That's cool. Look how big this trunk is. But yeah, so all this stuff chopped up. Anything that can be chipped will be chipped. I may have to split some logs before they can be chipped on some of the bigger ones. And there's, you can see this stuff here that's dead that needs cut. Eventually I'll get through. All of this has got to be cleared out. But again, you know, it's down, it's dried, it's fairly easy to move. I'll probably take the, you know, cut all the main branches off and segment into something about 3 to 6 feet so I can chuck them, make stacks of logs and whatnot. But yeah, so it's progress is going. We had a lot of rain the last couple of weeks. Outdoor work was basically impossible, plus the weather changing. Air pressure and humidity shifts cause my neck to pop like crazy. And when it's doing the super snap, crackle, pop, I can't really go out and do work because my neck is just like whoop, 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 whoop all the time. Yeah, so I have a vast supply of materials here that are going to be used for just kind of keeping this shit from ever growing back the way that it did. Oh yeah, here we go. I don't know if these are honey or black. Very lovely. Poison ivy. That's the thing that killed these mulberries was poison ivy. And all the big vines, I believe, have been cut. Eventually, I'll go through and get all the big vines out of here, get all these creepers off all these tree line trees here. That'll happen this weekend, I believe. Also may have to, at some point, go get a new chain for the pole saw. I've been using it on some bigger stuff, and I think it's starting to get dull. But yeah, and other cool stuff that I've noticed here. I've got to get the fencing situation figured out sooner rather than later. Or not fencing, but trellis. This is wild, dude. This thing has been almost completely cut through on accident, and yet not only is it sprouting down there, which means it can be cut here, but it's sprouting up here and growing. It's wild. This in here kind of doing something similar. It hasn't been cut, but this is an aged vintage here. And because this is growing out here and here, I can actually sever these guys here and start treating this like its own. This will be the trunk. These will be the cordons. And then in a year or two, end up getting some grapes on the vine. But to do that, basically, any of these that have got, this one doesn't have any kind of grow out. I think this end is dead. So I could totally cut this. This one's half alive. But yeah, so I could totally cut this. And then with this growing here, nothing else really coming out here, I could cut this up here. And then this guy, I could cut back there, and then we'll see if anything pops out of here, because these just grew out recently. But definitely would like to get some grapes off of this gargantuan vine. This has got to be 8 to 10 years old. It's longer than that even. They live for about 50 supposedly. So this is an aged one that I think I'll be able to preserve. The thing is, I'm gonna have to support it once I cut these, because it's not gonna hold itself up. So I'm gonna have to build something to support it here, and then on top of that, work on training vines out. Oh yeah, we got a bunch coming out of here too. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff I can do here. So that one that leads out to here leads to some vines over here that might actually be alive yet, but even there's so much distance, so much break off, and it's just wasted growth energy, wasted water, trying to get to grapes that nothing's ever going to get to. Levitating branch. Got to get some pole saw up in here again too. The sun was weird and I couldn't really see anything at the time. It's kind of hard to see around this bit, but you can see there's stuff to cut out. Then all the elm wood's going to be used separately. I'm going to do something. I'm going to figure out what the best way to grow morel mushrooms is going to be, using all that dead elm. You can see this vine comes up around here. And these are off of that same vine, as far as I can tell. It's very extensive. All right, so that's where I'm at right now, and I'm about to get going on working on that ditch some more. And we'll see what all I get. I'll do a video when I'm done. All right, this is the second half end of the day progress. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours since the last video. And I pulled these 2 grapevines out of these and cut them at the bottom and then mowed through. Basically all of this stuff here was all stacked up against there. So I had to peel it out from the overgrowth and then mowed what I could. You can see there's a few stumps here and there that were a little too tall. So then I went back through with the cutter and got those. And yeah, so it's progress. I'm not so exhausted that I think I'm going to be destroyed tomorrow. As long as the weather holds up. My neck's not particularly sore at the moment. My arms aren't too bad. My elbows can get pretty nasty, but they're okay right now. A little sore, but nothing crazy. I'm going to eat really well. But anyways, yeah, so I got basically this whole thing mowed out to here. Kind of what the thing involves is cutting the space where there's room to throw the brush, and then peel the brush out that the stuff is grown up through. Like right here is what I got to do tomorrow. I'll have all of this done tomorrow. But so anyways, yeah, you pull that up and then stack it over once you mowed one spot, and then you mow through the rest of it, and it's just kind of a thing in phases. You can see I got some stuff I got to cut down here. A lot of work to be done with the pole saw. Got some of these ones I got the creepers pulled off of, and some of them I still got to get. That in there is not actually creeper. That's the branches coming out the sides of that tree. That's that tree. So yeah, anyways, that's where we got today. Significant chop. It's at least half of this done, and I'll get the other half mown out and everything tomorrow. And then of course I got a bunch of these all through here is where that whole stand of these little tall things here and all this is going to go. That's all going to get chopped down and tossed onto the pile. Making my way down, and I believe that one right there is the last of the actual elms on the tree line. And after that, it's all mulberry back there. So yeah, that's it. That's what I got, and I'll probably have hopefully more progress report tomorrow. Like I said, I don't think I'm so beat up today that I won't be able to do anything tomorrow. Won't have to just lay there and recuperate. I don't think the weather's going to be crazy. I don't think it's supposed to rain, but who knows. Pretty stunning golden hour going on here. Solar clouds. These things have been changing fairly rapidly, but nothing's growing or anything. It's just doing its thing. It's a cloudzoy. And of course the jets are just doing the complete graffiti in the sky at the same time, which is unfortunate. Anyways, yeah, so I gotta pack my stuff up and then be done. Part of the other reason is that's poison ivy. It's everywhere in there, and I've almost certainly got it on me. So before I sit down to eat or snuggle the kitties or even do anything, I'm gonna have to go inside, strip down, and get showered really good with the dish soap. So that's today's progress. I'm gonna move the gear in so it ain't sitting off the road, and then come back and do it again tomorrow.